hype. Thank you so much for having me at GDQ again. I am Friff, formerly known as FrustedGH. I was the person that did this showcase back in 2020, and I'm realizing now that they didn't start, I just kind of went off. As soon as I click restart, we can click go, and then I'll let the commentators say who they are. In 3, 2, 1. All right. So, what's up, commentators? Introduce yourself.
All right, I am Guitar Hero Rocks. As the name suggests, I play Guitar Hero. This is not Guitar Hero, this is a clone hero, but I play the game too, but Guitar is my bread and butter. On to the next one.
My name is Asai. I make lots of silly videos about Clone Hero, and I've been playing Guitar Hero for almost 20 years.
Hi, I'm Zach. I'm the newest one here. I've been playing for a couple years, but I'm also first partner, so hello. I'll try to explain as much as I can.
All right, starting off here, this is incredibly, like, I wouldn't say simple,
это Guitar
because
Hero.
It is a little bit complicated, but it's
Relatively
basically
Да, это я
simple.
видел.
Compared to what you're going to be seeing
This
soon.
is just a combination of anchoring, which is holding the lowest note in the sequence and tapping the higher notes. And
чатик,
these
тут,
are
в
now
принципе, всё
triplets.
понятно.
A little bit more complicated. Same thing as trill, just 2 notes instead of 1 that you have to do over the anchor.
Гэл.
Something to bring up immediately is you're going to see 3 different types of notes. These that you're seeing right here are tap notes. That means they don't require you to strum at all, even if you don't have a combo. Hammer-ons, which were in the original GH games, are the same thing, except they require a multiplier to work in the first place. So if you miss during a hammer-on sequence, you need to strum, unlike with tap notes, and strum notes require you to strum the strum bar, obviously.
And also, looking at right now, this pattern that you're looking at is called quad zigzags. And this is going to be like something that we refer to a lot when you're seeing so many ridiculous patterns on the screen. Basically, all roads lead back to quad zigging. That's pretty much the best way that I could put it.
And here we go with the first solo of the song. This one is mostly just a technical showcase, bouncing back and forth between complicated patterns.
And those lines that you saw across the screen there, those are open notes. That you hit those by not having any frets held down whatsoever.
And if you're curious about the background, it's because this song is named Synth Battle. So
You get it?
great.
They're two synths. They're battling.
Very
You can
meta.
tell by the boxing gloves.
Who's going to win?
I've got my money on the left one.
Me too.
He's cooler. Got more colors.
Right. So, oh my goodness. Yeah, and so tap notes can really be singular notes, or they can be chords as well. Woo! That was beast.
All right,
Nice.
Now let's see if I can do this in the middle of a combo. Clone
No
Hero
shot.
is brought to you by Petroleum Jelly. There we go.
Yo!
Moved it up.
Yo, let's go.
Expert.
Us Guitar Hero players take moisturizing very seriously.
So the thing I did there to hold the combo and not miss despite really not hitting any of the notes properly is a thing we call spamming. This game does not penalize you for pressing the wrong notes. It pretty much just wants you to hit the correct ones, even if you mess up between. So we've made that really overpowered by slide tapping and just running our hands back and forth on the frets to introduce as many inputs to the game as possible, which just kinda can hit any pattern that's a tap note. The exception is usually chords, because you have to space out the inputs between, and there's no control with spamming or slide tapping like that.
A lot of the complex tapping in this game comes down to timing.
Just want to point out the streak real quick. Almost 1,500 notes in a row.
And that is those are almost 90 notes per second.
90 notes per second.
Think about that. Can you think about
crazy.
90 notes in 1 second? Bam, that was a second, just like that. 90 notes.
The great thing about Clone Hero is you don't really have to care too much about all of the individual notes. These patterns form into clusters of motions, which you just figure out over time by figuring out which methods work for which patterns, and the pattern recognition and muscle memory takes over to the point where this sort of thing can't quite be sight read. Like, I definitely would be missing way more notes if I did not know this song. And you're standing there, hold on.
And
Okay,
it's
there we
like
go.
I was saying, it's like I was saying earlier, where those patterns and those physical motion come back into the timing aspect of it, because you want to get all those patterns down into your muscle memory so that you can time them properly and hit multiple notes with one motion cleanly.
Yeah, and a huge part of this game is energy management, so you don't overexert yourself, get your fingers tired. And a big part of that is reducing the amount of motion you use to hit a pattern of notes. So with those zigs, you know, there may be 7 notes in a zig, but it's really just one motion. So you're breaking down 7 notes into one.
It's one angled
motion
slap.
extension. Yeah.
You make your fingers kind of like a diagonal motion, and then smack the frets, and it hits 7 notes.
We love Clone Hero.
Best game.
And that is different from Guitar Hero and Rock Band and any of the console games that most people played. This one can process the controller 20 times faster. So while it has a little bit smaller of a hit window, like you have less time to individually hit each note, it also is like 20 times less strict.
More responsive.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you're playing the old Guitar Hero games on console, you're at 60 FPS.
Thank you.
So essentially you have, 200 milliseconds to hit a note. So you have about 12 frames if you're at 60 FPS. But if you're on this game at 60 FPS, you have about 8 frames. However, we play at like 1,000 generally, over 1,000 frames.
This is like 1,000 FPS.
So you have essentially over 1,000 chances every second to hit a note. So the game ends up being much more responsive than the old games that you're used to.
Another thing to note is that the last song and this song were also made by members of the community specifically for this game. So they were made specifically to be charted. And there are lots of talented composers in the community that can make charts like this that are insanely difficult, but also sound pretty good.
This one's by somebody named Schmutz06.
A legend.
Whose main
Legend.
gimmick
Absolute legend.
is just being in this community forever, like the past 14 years, and making banger after banger.
After banger.
Already
after
talked about
banger.
doing this.
It's unreal.
Unreal.
Get a load of
And
this
that's
guy.
slide tapping right there. Those trills are way too fast to alt tab. Like, I'm not fast enough. So by sliding back and forth, it can duplicate the motion so that you don't have to move your arms as fast to hit the quicker oscillations of patterns. And then there's no cheesing this. This is just hard chords.
Pure raw dogging.
With strumming and chord fretting, you have to be a lot more accurate because you have to strum while you're fretting the accurate chord. And if you're hitting any other note other than the ones directly in that chord, you're just going to overstrum and you're going to miss.
It just doesn't work. There's no way around it. You just have to do good.
Quite.
Another method to point out is that when you see those really fast bursts of strums, they're doing something called rake strumming, which is spreading out 2 or more fingers and using the tips of your fingers to hit the strum bar down and up multiple times with one motion. So in the same motion it would take you to do 1 up and down strum, you're hitting the strum bar twice with your finger and letting it flick off. And with that, you're able to hit much, much faster stuff.
Yeah, most community members rely on rake strumming as a malfunction of the strum switches themselves.
Yeah, it's really a hardware flaw that we've exploited to a ridiculous extent.
Yeah, certain guitars can generate a second or third or even fourth strum with 1 finger flick, but the guitar that Friff is using right now is an inconsistent 1-1, which means sometimes it will duplicate the input, but it's not super consistent. So the 2-finger raking is the method to get the notes hit consistently.
And this game is very hardware-based. The guitar that Friff is using, it looks like a Wii guitar, but all the internals has just been completely swapped out for different things that allow us to push the game even further.
It's very much unlike speedrunning, where controller modding is looked down upon in a lot of circles. In this community, it was kind of seen as necessary to allow the game to survive, just like how Clone Hero was made.
I was beast.
Once again.
Oh, nice.
Awesome choke.
Awesome choke.
This section is just rude. It doesn't stop getting faster.
It builds and builds and builds. Another thing to note about this game is while we mentioned there's no strict engine that doesn't allow you to ghost or spam, most players and modern people like to try and play the chart as it was intended and make the visual gameplay look as clean as possible.
Yeah.
So you'll notice that Friff doesn't spam even though he absolutely could. He tries to play as clean as he possibly can. And if you watch the strike line on songs like this, that's really apparent. And every player is a different level of clean.
Yeah, and Friff is one of the cleanest to ever play the game. With the kind of stuff that he can hit and how he plays it so cleanly, it is incredibly impressive.
Extremely technical part.
Yeah, this is all speed strumming and burst strumming. And you have to be careful because those hammer-ons...
The rig right there,
You can
really
just
well,
hit it
really well
like
executed
that.
break strum.
Very nice.
Fat Tony is shocked. Look at him.
Shocked indeed.
Disbelief.
That was beautiful.
Everyone, a
Mine's
quick
gonna be
update on
good
Through the
stuff.
Fire and Flames. We're less than $13,000 away from making it happen. Everybody, keep those donations coming in for it. Let's go.
What hype.
I can promise you, you won't want to miss that.
Since I need a second before I overheat myself, Ghost Inputs is something that we've added to Clone Hero recently that has really revitalized the cleanliness factor that Zach was just talking about. It counts every time you do something that isn't the next note. So 658 times during that run, I did an extra motion, which if I was a robot wouldn't have happened. And the lower this number generally, the better the run.
The cooler you are.
And let me just say, that is a crazy ghost note count for this song.
Yeah, for a song like
very
these
few
kind of
people would
patterns,
be able
that
to
is
do that.
low.
Yeah, that is very, very low. Most people would generate like 1,000,
Over 1,000
2,000.
for sure.
I'd be in like the 2,000s, bro. I can't do that.
This next song's intro is probably good donation reading time if you want.
Absolutely. Let's just start out with saying, less than $12,000 to go.
Let's go.
Get 1,000 pipes in to the block. Let's go. We got $5 from DiGiorno saying it is awesome to see Clone Hero back at GDQ. Best of luck to you, Fripp. All hail the Purple Squad. What is going on? Thank you for that donation, by the way. $100 from Michi-chan999 saying, so great to see Fripp. It's back for another GDQ, showcasing his mind-blowing skill. What a legend. How y'all feel about that?
This is a great song to point out that a big factor in difficulty in this game you would think would be length, but that's only true to a certain extent because this song is only 2 minutes, and if it was done right now,
It would be the best
probably,
accomplishment,
It
yeah.
would be close to, if not the best accomplishment. And the current
In
best
CH.
accomplishment in Clone Hero is an 18-minute gauntlet of songs that Fripp did while we were living in hotels. So,
oh my gosh.
yeah.
I want to shout out this song. You have to use your thumb for tapping.
Oh,
Your
yeah.
right thumb. Which
Like
is
right
something-
here.
Which is normally just only used for strumming. It is unheard of almost to use your thumb to hit a fret button.
Ooh, I held the combo too.
Oh, nuts.
So we're coming up to the outro of this song.
Big shout out to J-Rapes for all of these backgrounds, by the way. Thanks for doing that last minute.
What is going on?
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
I'm in awe.
What a goober.
What is that? What? My brain is too slow to comprehend any of this.
Oh my god.
1 million.
You
What a million!
Go.
Yes, 7
He hit
stars.
the H.
Oh my gosh.
H.
And 262.
262.
That is
That's
crazy.
incredibly low.
That
Whoa.
is disgusting.
That is
Yeah.
crazy.
This
Yeah.
is only 30,000 points off of world record score right now. So
Bad.
that is pretty good. Oh boy.
This next song is Fripp's, not this specific
This is my
part,
current grind, yeah.
that they have a -1 on. That means they missed one note after the first solo and then FC'd the rest of it, which is just sad.
This is an abridged version?
Yes,
right?
this is slightly shorter.
Which honestly might make it just a tad bit more draining.
Oh yeah, there's way less break time.
So you're going to see a lot of that alt tapping that we were talking about at the beginning of the showcase in this run, along with a lot of what we call teleporting, which is very quickly going from the strum bar back to the frets, because this song requires a lot of fast transitions between strumming and alt tapping, as well as strumming and sliding.
I'm getting tired just watching them.
These patterns are also a good implication of what we were saying earlier, that you can break down multiple notes into just one motion, because you'll see he's just doing one slide on his right hand and a quint on his left. to hit all of those, what we call ladders, with one motion so that he can do them much, much faster and lead into dozens of them.
Those
Not
like
just that. Oh, sorry. But
Oh yeah, sorry. I was gonna say those ascending triplets, like that's just pure speed. You
Yeah.
can't really cheat
Oh, yeah.
those.
that, I mean, there is a method you
I mean,
could.
yeah, I saw you do it, but you're
Yep.
not doing it, obviously.
Right.
A lot of
Yeah.
ascending patterns can be split because the whole idea is that you're bringing your hand closer to the top or orange note on the fretboard. So when you're sliding ascendings, it's a lot more forgiving than when you're, say, sliding descending triplets or descending trills.
$11,000 to go!
Let's
go.
Come on, Twitch chat! Let's go, Twitch chat!
Here's another good time for donos if you want.
Thank you kindly. Got $25 from Nitro saying, I am so hyped right now. Fripp is absolutely goated. I'm so excited to see them absolutely annihilate this showcase. You got this, dog. FC Courage 4K. Thank you so much. No.
That grind.
We also got Kwai Poala with $13 saying, we only need 1,000 of small donations like mine to reach the incentive, so let's do this. This run is already incredible. We can't miss the song. On this rate, we certainly won't. Everybody keep it going.
Just
Oh,
like
this
this
method
note
is gonna be
streak.
great.
That was a note streak.
Check
Bro,
this out.
Streak.
This is what we call scratch tapping, and it is exactly what it sounds like. You just scratch the fretboard.
This is why you use Vaseline, folks.
Whew.
That was nasty.
The reason you use scratch tapping there is because the trills are in sets of 5 and they change every 3 and 2. So doing it clean is just insanely difficult.
And
Requires
that speed.
It requires an insane amount of physical speed or insane levels of rake ability.
And at this point in the song, you're already so tired.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is a nice little break.
Yeah. Nice.
We're not even halfway. We're a little bit over halfway through the song and we're already past 1,000,000 points.
Yeah, I don't think people talk about how well Fripp does energy management seriously.
His
Like,
consistency is unmatched.
yeah.
All right, can I hit 22 notes per second strums?
Yes. Sure
Let's
can.
go. We're less than $10,000 away, everyone.
Holy
Twitch
cow.
chat, keep it going for Fripp, for MSF, for Dragon Force. Let's go!
Solo 2 FC. Let's do it.
Don't jinx it now.
The teleports, man.
Oh.
There's
Halfway
nothing
there.
you can say about this other than just look at the screen.
In awe.
Jaw's on the floor right now. You can't see it.
I
Like,
got a mask on. You can't see my jaw on the floor,
Yeah.
but it's there.
that teleport was sick.
There's a reason no one else is close to this song.
Yeah. The patterns themselves it's definitely hard, but a huge difficulty factor for this song is the teleporting, the transitions between different patterns into strumming.
And just all the consistency within motions of slide tapping, all of that, it just so calculated. That's
Yes.
the
Perfect solo. Let's go.
Oh, I was hoping that would happen.
goodness, man.
I've practiced this solo 3 times while I've been here at GDQ. Didn't miss it once.
Practice pays
Was
off.
literally the first solo he hit when we got into the practice room.
And this is the outro.
on.
More dono time for sure.
All right, we're currently $9,000 remaining to get Fire Flames on to the schedule. We got ourselves KPC 5-1 with a $50 donation saying, stoked to see Clone Hero back in the GDQ. Let's shred this incentive.
Great note streak at the
That
end.
run was insane.
That was
This might be like a minus 20 or something.
2,600 note streak, by the way.
Shit.
2,683 to be exact.
Minus 32.
Ghost check, ghost check,
Ghosts.
1,000?
That's
Okay.
not bad.
That's not bad.
That's
okay.
not
That's
bad.
Lower than
sliding
anyone
you
else
did.
would get.
Yeah, the amount of sliding in there, nice.
Okay.
I can't imagine.
Oh.
Like,
This song is wretched. It's so hard.
It's a little stinky.
This, the current best short accomplishment in the community is something called Archwick's Hell, and in my personal grading system that I've used to try to document how hard stuff is in this game, this is 2 whole grades higher than the best short song accomplishment. So I was a little uncertain as to whether or not I should even include this in the showcase, but I put a lot of practice in, so hopefully it shows off. My main goal with this showcase has been to try to make myself in 2020 look really bad at this game, and I hope I've done that so far.
You're doing great. Quick 1,000 notes.
Absolutely. This song uses a lot of the slide tapping we were talking about earlier as well. If you watch his hands, you'll notice that he's stretching his fingers up the fretboard to hit the 8.
Oh, that was still so
That is
clean.
insane.
That
That
was
is so hard.
clean, man.
I don't know what to do there.
Nobody
If
blames
Griff doesn't know what to do there, nobody knows what to do
Yeah,
there.
everybody's just screwed.
Other than maybe Relentless.
There's a lot of talented players in this community.
Yeah.
As well as a lot of talented composers. This was composed by someone named Black Fawn. Shout out to them. They're really cool.
For that pattern there, I had to hit the notes first with my pinky and then angle my hand down so that my ring finger does like a reverse zig to hit the chords. It's
Dog, what?
super janky.
You'll also notice that the song has a lot of areas where there's chords that are like green and orange, and there's notes in the middle. So you need to not only anchor the green note, but you also need to anchor orange with your pinky, which is like unheard of in the original games. I don't think that ever happens once in the original set list. So that's a completely new skill set that's been created, which is tapping while also anchoring twice with your left hand.
Yeah, this game has really pushed the technical abilities of players far beyond anything that the original games have done. I mean, there hasn't been a good Guitar Hero game in over a decade. No disrespect to Guitar Hero Live. but the community's really taken this game and turned it into something completely their own.
Yeah, we have tons of tournaments. We have tons of, we'll make community track packs and set lists composed entirely of charts and songs people have made. It's a really nice, neat little place.
Yeah, it's entirely community driven, and it's a great community.
Imagine showing this to someone in 2006.
They would fall over dead. They would fall over dead. Their brain could not comprehend what they're witnessing.
That's a perfect example of that tapping I was talking about, and of course they hit it.
Holy cow.
This was a good run. I'm pretty surprised.
Is it a world record?
Doubt it. I've done so much practice on this. Probably got 1.8.
Even still, 6 stars on this is crazy.
Yeah, you got 6 stars handily.
The star system in this game is very funny. It calculates based on your average multiplier. So whenever you activate star power, 4 goes to 8. And to get 7 stars, your average multiplier has to be 4.4. So every note has to be under star power effectively in some good way.
$8,000 remaining for Fire and Flames, everybody. Let's carry on.
Oh, my
Let's
God.
carry on.
low.
Let's get those
That is-
donations in, everybody.
Again, you're just gonna see ghost note counts that no one else could replicate.
I obsess over like the
Oh,
first count.
this,
Okay,
this is not Origins Callaghan, by the way.
I love Origins Callaghan.
Me
Let's
too.
listen to it again.
This is a song called Fallen Symphony by Ludison. I just installed it wrong.
Yeah, it's really easy to mess up the metadata of charts sometimes, so in preparation, they accidentally copied the wrong metadata over, but the song and the chart are all the same, so just think of this as Fallen Symphony.
This is also
also
my least practiced. I literally threw this chart together by mashing up 2 charts of the same song like 2 days before this showcase. So I kind of know what's going on, but if I just draw blank on a method, I would not be shocked.
This chart also has a lot of what you're gonna see, which is called like note inflation, and that's that area in the beginning where there were tap notes immediately after the strum notes. All that requires you do is you hit the strum and then hold the anchor for the chord that's after it a little bit longer, so that the
Little bit. Like,
Yeah,
it'll
just a
basically
little
automatically
like
hit.
frames longer, so that it automatically hits the chord. It can
Things like that, too.
Yeah, stuff like this. in some instances, it's inconsequential, but in a song you're going to see later called Expurgation, that actually makes the song definitely a little bit more difficult because it pads out how long you have to press the frets.
Yeah, but generally speaking, this is just to make it look cooler.
Yeah, I ain't complaining.
We like to
does
see
look
the
cooler.
note counter
It looks
go
really
up.
cool.
We like to see the note counter go up.
Notes go burr.
This chart also has a lot of that teleporting you were talking about earlier. This is probably a good time for a couple donations if you want to read some out.
Oh, thank you so much. We have so many donations coming
Love
in.
to hear that.
For Clone Hero, this
Awesome.
is
Get
wild.
things in.
We got an anonymous $50 donation. Says this incredible display needs to be kept off by Through the Fire and Flames. Yes, indeed. Everybody keep on going for it. We also got 760 Creations with $50. Saying
760, baby.
And the homies commentating, much love.
Shout out to 760. They're a huge guitar modder in the community. Like we said earlier, a lot of this game is making sure your hardware feels nice and works properly. JP has done a lot of work trying to get good guitars to a lot of people.
Yeah, we would not be at the point today, hardware-wise, without JP and all his efforts.
There are tons of modders we could shout out.
Yeah,
Like Katana Mods, who made me this guitar for this event.
those are my boys.
Big ups to
Straight up.
Katana.
Those are my boys.
We probably have time for a couple more.
Nice little break.
Absolutely. We got Mr. Oreo with the $25 donation. They say, excited to see Clone Hero at GDQ. This gameplay makes my Broken World Tour controller cry out in fear. Thank you so much.
This section has a lot of 4-note chords, which are
These are
just
very
as
tough.
annoying as you think they are.
You only got 4 fingers to work with, so they're all being used up by one note.
Oh yeah, this section's insane because all these open notes, you're forced to take your hand off of the controller.
Yeah, the white open notes, you can't be fretting anything at all, so you can't just do these like you would normally, like how you would just roll up. You have to physically take your hand all the way off the controller, which makes it a lot more physically straining.
Yeah, this is an extremely technical chart. Not the most technical one we have tonight either.
And this section has a whole bunch of forced drums. That just means that little zig there normally would be hammer-on, so you don't have to strum every note, but this song makes you strum them all just for a little bit of added difficulty.
Yeah, forcing a note is literally just taking a note that...
Я только проснулся.
$7,000 remain, everyone. Keep that push going strong,
It's
y'all.
a wild section.
Holy
That little
wow.
diamond is so satisfying.
Yeah.
And basically what you're doing there, you're still
Жесть
anchoring
красивый
green, and
паттерн
then you're doing
показывает.
a quad zig
Точнее,
with the
прохождение
rest of your
красивого
hand.
паттерна показывает.
And those 5-note chords are as hard as they look as well, because
Yeah.
you do have to hit
Как бы,
two notes with one
говоря
finger.
про
You got 4 fingers to work with, but you have
шоу-кейс
5
подобных
notes to
игр,
hit
And
at once.
it's absolutely not
Пошел
possible to
кейсы
switch to your thumb in a
ход.
section like that. It would take way too
вещей
long.
типа Гитара
Clone
Хиро,
Hero
Клон
is seriously
Хиро,
transcended,
Степмани,
It's not a guitar anymore. It's a stick with buttons.
не
Yeah.
знаю, каких-то игр, которые с тремя, пятью, семи кнопками, это вот всем.
Yeah.
Обычно
This is another very technical section.
только меня тихо слышно. Наверное, потому что я тихо говорю, потому что только проснулся. Сейчас. Секундочку.
Not something you can cheese.
No, that's a definite skill check.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff in this set list you can't cheese. That's Frick's specialty. Insanely technical and consistently based gameplay.
Гадайте, кто пролил кофе себе на ногу.
This is a timing nightmare.
Yeah. There's a lot of sections like this where the strums are really close together, so you
Так вот,
just have to physically
когда мы
get a
говорим про
feel
спидраны,
how you wanna
точнее,
hit
просто
them on
про
your
шоу-кейс
guitar, like
подобных
how you
игр,
wanna do those two strums, if you wanna do the
мы обычно
normal
всегда
all-strum
говорим
here,
о
if you
том,
wanna
как
do
они
how he's
устроены.
doing, where he's somewhat
То есть это
flapping
всегда
the guitar.
какие-то
Just
особые
something to keep
техники,
yourself
которые
in time,
используются
like we were talking earlier.
для
Yeah.
прохождения, и всегда какие-то паттерны, которые мы должны проходить.
Потому
Потому что ритм игры
That's why you'll see me
кажутся
like
сложными.
popping my head to the
Ну,
music.
не ладно, они
Not
есть
just
сложные,
because it
но
sounds
это
good, but so it
механическая
keeps my
сложность, то есть
body
ты должен
at the
просто
right
выучить, научиться
BPM
нажимать
alignment for the song.
кнопки. Но
This goes on
когда ты смотришь
forever.
на...
This is insane.
Когда ты невооруженным взглядом,
And
то
while
есть
there's not as many
только
notes on the
вот такой
screen as
пришел
we've seen
посмотреть
in
на
previous
какой-нибудь клон
sections, this is
Хиро,
still incredibly challenging.
Yeah.
Yeah, along with that section right there, those,
ты
those
как бы
chords
смотришь на то, как
with
люди
hammer-ons
играют
in
на
them,
такие
those are
подобные
not
сложные
note
карты,
inflation, those are
типа
what
True
we
the
call
Fire and
custom
Voice, на которые мы
strumming
сейчас
with bullet
собираем
strumming. So
деньги.
you have to strum on the offbeat
Смотришь на
for
это
every
количество
beat.
кнопок,
This is a
охреневаешь
little
от того,
hard
как
because
это
you have
вообще
to
можно
fret
нажать,
before
и
you strum, so
не
that
косоглазое
the
или чудовище
hammer-on
спидранер,
hit
который,
perfect.
ну, с реакцией 0,0 наносекунд. Но здесь важно понимать, что мы запоминаем не каждую ноту, мы запоминаем отдельные паттерны, потому что, как вы можете заметить, все ноты находятся в какой-то небольшом, в каком-то таком определенном порядке. То есть это всегда примерно одно и то же, какие-то лесенки, какие-то подобные потоки. Мы учимся нажимать не отдельные ноты, а мы учимся нажимать именно эти отдельные паттерны. Вот. Для этого конкретно в Guitar Hero существует очень много техник, потому что контроллер здесь немножко особенный. То есть это не клавиатура, это не лежащие перед тобой 5 кнопочек какие-нибудь. Это гитара, которая как бы находится в такой интересной позиции, и из-за этого мы можем использовать разные забавные техники. Плюс ко всему в Guitar Hero некоторые штуки требуют нажать. Некоторые штуки можно нажимать с помощью как бы вот этого рычага. Справа. Да. Хороший надо рассказать про все эти техники и про то, как вообще устроены ритм-игры. Ну, точнее, хорошо надо просто рассказать про то, как устроены все эти техники, и есть эта проблема, я не знаю, как они устроены. Так что давайте посмотреть, как они сделаны.
This song is really funny because I'm the only person who has got 100% FC on it, and I didn't even upload it on its own video because back then I was trying to compete with a cheater. So my strat was to put full song FCs into my montages just without telling anyone, and this was one of those unfortunate songs that, while really difficult, did not get its own video.
Извините, чат, я могу немножко засыпать. Их, кстати, очень сложные паттерны, потому что они техничные. Вы могли в прошлый раз видеть совершенно крупные такие, требующие очень быстрых нажатий всякие лесенки, шреды, которые здесь необходимы. Здесь более технично, здесь потому что нужно нажимать какие-то одиночные ноты постоянно. И вот нажимать подобные одиночные ноты очень-очень сложно. Ну, не то, что одиночные, отдельные, очень странно повторяющиеся. Двойка, 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 тройка, двойка. 2-1, 2-1, 2-1. И тут непонятная череда, которая просто нужно запомнить, как она проходится. Интересный факт про этот трек, который только что рассказал раннер. Это трек, который... Точнее, этот трек интересен тем, что наш раннер единственный, кто вкашнул его, то есть прошел его на полное комбо. Причем он никому не рассказывал об этом. В то время он соревновался с каким-то читером, который находился на ладере Clone Hero. Clone Hero достаточно популярная игра в массах. Особенно сложные карты в ней, которые не проходят. Да, заучил до перфекции.
Not bad at all.
That is gross.
Oh my gosh.
This next song, I'm gonna
Вот.
warn you. It is.
Ну и типа, он сражался против читера и никому не рассказывал об этом, потому что хотел, короче, выжить как бы невзначай свой лист фулл комбо. Ну, точнее, сделать видео, в котором он показал все свои ФК. Как бы невзначай вставить эту песню. Ну, звезды не набрал, да, он там пару раз промахнулся, ну, типа, Так, надо заправиться.
This next one is from this lovely game called Funky Friday. Shout out to the Roblox community.
I love Funky Friday, bro.
Опа, следующая из Funky Friday.
Funkin' song from the Versus Tricky mod that I put onto this game, trying to mimic that game's gimmicks. And in that game, on this song, it would try to like put stuff in front of you and block your vision. So to emulate that, I just put hobos everywhere that shouldn't be there to make it harder to read the chords that you're supposed to play.
And something we failed to mention previously too is that hammer-ons in this game can and will eat your strum inputs. So sometimes you will
Насколько я знаю,
strum and there will be a
гитары достаточно
hammer on and
прочные.
a strum immediately
Ну
after
да,
it, and if you're
они очень
strumming the hammer
меняются,
on,
очень
you will
часто
not hit the
меняются.
strum note afterwards. So sometimes you'll see him strum a hammer on, or sometimes you'll see him very, very meticulously make sure that his fret goes through before his strum for specific patterns in this song. And this is the one I was talking about where it looks like it might just be note inflation, but it's definitely not. It's
there for a reason.
yeah,
Ой,
it's to
какие
make you
сложные
hold the
паттерны.
frets down longer, so transitioning is harder.
Wow, direct assault, I see.
Бррм.
Love to see it.
Just everything comes together at once here. The strum technicality of
Аркадный
odd step
стик для
strumming,
СТГ.
the chording and having to fret absolutely perfectly because there's no leniency. Having the hammer-ons in between the chords, so you have to fret zigs in between them. It just becomes this nightmare chart that's
А сильно ли он тебе нужен?
that's haunted him for years.
Мне
It's
кажется,
not
на
an
геймпаде
exaggeration
можно
to
просто
say
играть.
that if I got this right now, it would be my best accomplishment. And I've been going for it for like 10 months at this point, hovering in a
Вечные.
-3 for like 5 months.
And think about -3 on what you're looking at right now.
Ну, как бы всегда можно собрать
And all
собственный
of those
стик.
-3s are past this point in the song. I've FC'd to this point about 70 times.
Не знаю, в нормальном
And this
магазине,
song
по-моему,
afterwards.
отдельный стик и плата
Because
будет
this
стоить
next
примерно
part,
сколько?
the
Ну,
in solo, so bad. One of the
1004.
hardest sections that I've had to do in a full grind.
просто самоуверенность. Хе-хе.
We'll just let it speak for itself.
Ну, здесь простенький паттерн, кстати. Вы потрачите ноты одни и те же, они очень легкие, потому что он просто зажимает кнопки и долбанем в ритм справа рычагом.
There's just disgusting movements on your fingers.
Minute.
Говорится, just press buttons. Перед тем, как пасть самооценкой, когда вы посмотрите на такие стримы, я напоминаю, что этот раннер, я не знаю, половину своей жизни потратил в этой игре. Перед тем, как добиться этого, он также находился в некоторой степени фрустрации, чтобы не понимать, какого хрена.
That is ridiculous.
Йоу.
$7,000 left, everybody.
$5,000.
In like late 2018, basically the game became like very hardware centered. And this is the type of thing that I've been waiting to see
Right.
for years.
Just not
Yeah.
hardware
This is it,
centered
For
stuff.
sure.
This is it.
This is peak chording gameplay right here.
Me being able to quint is one thing, but also being able to see this is ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, we've all been here.
Unbelievable.
We've all been in the community for
58 ghost inputs.
It's like that
that's
with the
super
strums.
low.
Yep.
Very low.
If I may,
We've all
before we
been here
plunge
for-
into the next, I got,
Yeah,
go ahead,
we'll give
go
you a
ahead.
second.
got a $50 donation here for Colossi5 saying, forget the cowbells. I got a fever, and the only cure is more fire and flames. Ow! Rapidly approaching, $55,653 out of the 60,000. We're gonna see it.
Так,
Everybody
ну,
keep the
у нас
push
все время остался
going.
последний трек для
Got one
ГДК.
song left, but it's a pretty long song, so.
It's like an 8-minute
Он,
one
правда,
by
длинный.
someone from the community named Tornith. A very cool person. Made this song and pretty much dipped from
Yeah,
composing.
this is a good this
it's
is a
so
good
good.
example of how actually musically intricate Clone Hero composing can get, because this song sounds beautiful in places, especially if you're listening to headphones.
It was put together in 4 months as the first composition this guy did, and it's crazy good.
And there's a lot of
Трек сделан
resources
кем-то
for
из
if you wanna start
фанатом
composing
сообщества
for this
Clone
game
Hero.
as well. There's a huge community
Поэтому вы можете
behind it
обратить
that would
внимание,
be
что наваляют
absolutely
какие-то местные
ecstatic to
локальные
help you,
мемы,
because obviously
эмолты.
we're gonna want more songs to play on the video game.
Absolutely. Every song that we play is made by a community member for the most part. No, entirely. Every single chart that you play that isn't from the official games was made by a person.
Yeah.
Somebody that just likes the game and they wanted to play a certain song in the game.
And we are nowhere without community charters.
100%.
Такая простая карта.
And on the same note, if you guys
Yeah,
want to
ладно,
get
не
into this game or
простая.
any other game for that matter of the same genre, there's a couple of other games out there like Yarg. That's a big
Shout
one
out
right
to
now.
Yarg, man.
Shout out to Yarg.
There are a few other games you can play that are similar to this. You don't have to play songs that are this crazy and intricate. There's plenty of much more easier songs. I certainly can't play songs like this, so I stay far away from this.
There's a lot of set lists that are catered to the lower difficulty players, and there's a lot of tutorials.
Блин, честно, я не знаю, как они нажимают на эти одиночные этапы. То есть вот на в левом ряду там были постоянно эти рядочки с одиночными нотами, которые нужно постоянно нажимать. Я честно не знаю, как они их нажимают. Не дергай рычажок.
This is peak.
Yeah, as the kids say.
Я сейчас смотрю, пытаюсь просто понять, но по движению просто как бы зажал кнопку, но это же не так, верно? С лестники как бы понятно, как ты проходишь. Ты просто, ну, пальцем проводишь влево-вправо, например. Для того, чтобы это было быстрее. Большие лестники ты проходишь, дергая влево-вправо, очень быстро. Здесь нужно постоянно играть одним пальцем этот стринг слева. При этом отыгрывает то, что находится еще справа. Не знаю, правда всегда ритм геймером. Вообще, очень интересное зрелище, сейчас просто смотреть. Да, очень крутой чувак. Прям ух.
Also, please remind chat that they can subscribe with Amazon Prime for free. Did someone say Prime Gaming? Any primers? Interesting. Any primers?
And this next section you're gonna see is as brutal as it looks. It's a strumming section.
Oh my
God. There's no cheesing that.
That's a section right there. If it was hopos, you might even want to tap that.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, 100%.
Your other hand is used up by the strum bar.
Almost $2,000 away.
Осталось $2000, между прочим.
The song is beautiful,
До
man. Oh my god.
шоу-кейса Through the Fire and Flames.
A lot of the songs in this community sound amazing. It's a joke in the community that if a song is good enough to get in like your Spotify playlist, that's how you know you've achieved.
Absolutely. There's a couple of them in mine.
Is this on streaming? I don't know if this is on streaming.
I don't know if this is. I know a couple songs are.
Yeah. There's actually a lot that's on streaming, but yeah.
Теперь не половина карты.
Here is a slow part, but if donations could be refrained, I'd like a bit of silence because this build-up is just magical. Shout out to Randy Ladyman, whose community has made this song a staple of this game pretty much.
Начинается билдап.
There we go.
Gorgeous.
Challenge complete! Let's get it! We have one
Опа!
left on this set list.
Собрали 60 000.
You guys are great.
А иначе мы будем играть легендарнейшую песню для Guitar Hero и Clone Hero.
And before you start it, I'd like to explain some stuff here because we have some, we're going to be carrying on and cranking this to 11. So, thank you so much, everyone.
Кайф.
Getting that incentive
Кайф.
for Hearts Without Borders. Y'all are amazing.
Блин, прикольный трек, мне очень сильно нравится. Всегда любил такие мелодичные треки.
Which gains you major respect amongst our
Yeah, a lot of respect is given based on how clean the FG looks visually and how fun it is to watch.
Not only is the player satisfied, but the audience is also satisfied.
Absolutely.
At the end of the
Let's
day,
hear
that's
it.
what matters.
Let's hear it. Let's get it. Just easy.
One-handing for the activation, of course.
Still on the nose streak.
Что проблема треков в этом играх не приглушенные? Ну, может быть.
Made a standard in this community where like normally we get like foot pedals, but I haven't had one for a while. So I have just got used to raising my leg up and using like my pinky toe to press the space bar to
It's
activate
actually
start
great.
power.
It's funny.
Не знаю, для меня проблема в ритм игры в том, что ты в какой-то момент перестаешь воспринимать без нажатия кнопок и звуков нот, звуков попадания в нот. А, ограничить по мелодичности, ну это да. Тебе постоянно нужна именно какая-то бас-линия, ну, точнее, ритм-линия, ты по ней будешь играть.
That's another thing we as a community decided, like, it was gonna be implemented. Let's implement it ourselves.
Это как у меня была проблема в Тохе, что я не мог какое-то время не мог воспринимать ее музыку оттуда. Без звуков пули, попаданий этими самыми пулями.
Absolutely. Yeah, Arduinos have changed this game for the better for sure, because now everybody, we can shell the older guitars and we can build new guitars completely around them, so the hardware itself isn't the factor anymore, it's the bodies of the plastic.
Exactly. We don't have to really do any adapters anymore. You got a guitar sitting in your closet, get a Pi Pico, $20. That's
and you can turn that into a great Clone Hero controller.
Yeah.
It's not like it seems entry level, but it's really all you need.
Top of the line, absolutely.
Awesome show.
Awesome show. Story of my life there.
2.4K or million?
Looks like it.
Nice.
Nice 7
Реально
star
жесть,
off my main segment.
что до инициативы добавили.
Now it's time for Through the Fire and the Flames.
Oh,
So-
boy.
oh, let's go.
So excited.
The Flames, boy.
Ну, как бы, эти инициативы просто уже совсем что дополнительное, но Through the Fire and Flames
Oh, for sure.
прям инцентив такой ух-ух.
Shout out to Megapain.
Shout out to Megapain.
Кстати, Through the Fire and Flames у меня пожарная тревога заиграл в общаге.
I was beast, by the way.
How many
Mine's
goes?
47. FC Pike 47, roller
many
coaster
goes?
track repair.
866.
866.
Как хорошо, что на этот раз она играет где-то вдалеке.
Very nice.
Обычно она играет где-то у меня в блоке, и поэтому ее
All
слышно.
right, so the astute among you out there who are donating,
Да.
notice that the
Through the
Clone
Fire
Hero
and Flames
incentive is
традиция.
still open to put
Through the
donations
Fire
towards.
and Flames — это
So with the
легенда.
$60,000 raised, Frith is going to play Through the Fire and Flames.
Какой бежать? Мне комментировать еще надо.
If in that time that Clone Hero incentive reaches and exceeds $10,000,
This
he's
is
gonna play
fine.
Through the Fire and Flames again at 150%. And if $15,000 is raised by the end of that, Frith's going to take a final stab at Through the Fire and Flames at 200% speed.
And that one won't be pretty.
Not
We're
even a little
currently
bit.
You say that, but I
$90 out
watched
of
you
the
run in the
10,000.
practice room, and that was...
Короче, да, мы собрали на Through the Fire and Flames, и теперь мы собираем еще на то, чтобы раннер совсем с ума сошел.
Let's get it.
Let's go.
Everyone in this stream, we're here together. Stand up and sing along. Let's go. Come on.
Но пока что
Unlike the
величайший
show days
трек.
I did this, I'm gonna just try not to miss. No one-hand shenanigans.
And for reference, the fastest this song has been done is at 165% speed by the guy we mentioned earlier, Will, who is now in a band called
Ладно,
Thousand
извините.
Thoughts, which is a really good band, and he's been successful with that ever since moving on from Clone Hero, so shout out to him.
Shout out Will.
Absolute homie.
Absolute monster. That's my boy.
FC Pandora's box. I love hearing it.
You guys sound beautiful.
It brings us all together.
Nailing it. I love how this is like the
И вот
OG hard
чат
song
умер
ever,
от
but it's
кринжа.
like a walk in the park now, compared to what we were looking
Yeah.
at before. There's like only 5 notes on the screen at one time. What happened?
Where'd all the tapping
Если
go?
честно, я очень сильно люблю эту песню.
I wanna slide.
Я помню, в детстве заслуживался Dragon Force'ом после этого трека. So far away for the day. Всегда хотел научиться петь так же, как вокалист группы Dragon Force. Этим высоким голосом.
Weirdly emotional. This
Yeah,
is
this is like a dream come
It's
true.
a great moment for
This is a
us as
great
a
moment,
community.
Yeah.
We've all heard this song hundreds of times, thousands of times.
Yeah.
But I've never heard it.
Это
being
нормально,
sung
что
by
открыл так
hundreds of
поздно.
people behind me.
Для
You all
музыки
have
как
been
бы
an
нет
awesome
времени.
crowd. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you've been great.
Хреново прозвучал. Спасибо, спасибо.
Remember, y'all, Fripp can do this faster. Keep getting those
Вы хорошая публика, как говорится.
in.
Так вот, да.
That's probably the hardest.
Through the Fire and Flames
individual
мы
section of
говорим
this
про него
song.
постоянно, потому что
Bridge
этот
one.
трек легендарен тем, что появился в Guitar Hero 3.
The citation is solo fill too.
Snake.
Source.
И
I
это
made
было
it.
сложнейшим треком в этой игре. То есть там как бы были всякие эти ваши группы Виталики, всякие эти ваши Мотрухеды, и что там еще было, я не помню. Алайк же был Through the Fire and Flames, который был типа самой сложной картой на этом диске. Ну и как бы... Именно поэтому эта песня искала свою собственную какую-то фан-базу свою. Стала, по сути, легендарной. Потому что все сложные песни в этом игре становятся легендарными.
For real.
Нет, Кишань, к сожалению, не запустит, потому что... потому что... Не знают американцы про Киша, к сожалению.
I feel like I'm at an orchestra hall.
Хотя было бы смешно.
The sound reverb in here is great.
You hear this in Guitar Hero heaven.
This is what they play at the pearly gates.
Ой, ну ты вспомни еще другие, блин, Power Metal группы. Emerald Sword, да, хорошая. Ну, точнее, не Emerald Sword, группа Рапсодия хорошая. И трек Emerald Sword тоже хороший. Кстати, про Рапсодию тоже относительно недавно узнал. Я про Рапсодию узнал, когда, короче,
Halfway point.
наткнулся на какой-то комбо-мувик по файтингу по Жоже.
I, this sounds insane.
It's like ethereal.
I wish there was more singing in this song.
We're coming up to the solo that everyone dreads.
Причем Through the Fire and Flames, конечно, сложный трек, но он не намного сложнее, чем то, что мы играли сейчас, потому что...
Cool as a cucumber.
Лол.
25% of the way there to play this
Сравнивая с тем, что мы играли до этого и смотря на это, можно сказать, что Through the Fire and Flames такая
Just
тупо
imagine
простенькая
this
карта,
at
там,
either
3 звездочки
150
буквально.
or 200.
Y'all have to sing it that fast too.
Yes, do it just to make the crowd sing.
Crowd, y'all down? Yeah.
Ну все, пошел, Соляк, пошел.
There's a little choke point, honestly.
Люблю Dragon Force за то, как у них устроены песни.
Not for sure.
Они 2,5 минуты 7-минутными треками, 2,5 где-нибудь орут, что-нибудь в самом начале. Там так запевает, а потом 4 минуты показывают просто Соляк какой-то нереальнейший. Состоящий из 5 сегментов. А потом просто припев в конце и нормас.
Shut up, Dragon Force, by the
Да,
way.
Эпидемия у нас
They've been
была.
incredibly
Эпидемия
supportive
хорошая
of this
группа.
Oh,
Про эльфийскую группу я не слышал, кстати, ни разу.
meant to be. Maybe 150.
heartbreaking. Yeah. Maybe.
У-у-у. Мы, кстати, тем временем не снули. Но бывает.
That would be the most Fripp thing ever to miss on normal speed in an FC 150.
I can see it. It's much like going down from expert down to like easier medium.
Финальный парт соло.
Strangely more
Dude,
difficult.
yeah.
It's like this is so slow.
Reminds me of a couple weeks ago when he got a -1 on Origins and then immediately first run after that FC'd 10-year unFC'd song first try
Bruh.
out of nowhere.
This is what happens when you're too good at the game.
Да, вот то же самое произошло.
One-handed?
Was that with the first 3 fingers?
Ну,
What a flex.
Beast.
да. Я на самом деле очень недоволен тем, что я пропустил в самое начало. Особенно там, где вообще объясняли все эти техники, потому
Oh, it's
что
so good.
мне теперь нечего вам рассказывать. Но, к сожалению, проснулся я в этот момент. Я проснулся, смотрю на ноутбук, а там 10 минут рано. Я такой, блин, надо, наверное, пойти посидеть.
So far away, 3FC.
Nice.
The other arguable hard
Потому что я люблю музыку,
Yeah.
я люблю ритм игры. Хоть и не особо в них геймер. В конце трек фу не страшный, как я сказал, это оригинальная калька с Guitar Hero 3. Это не эти ваши крутые треки из Clone Hero, которые сделали всякие азиаты, чтобы другие азиаты охреневали от сложности.
Okay.
Nice flex, bro.
Beautiful.
Had to do it.
Кайф.
Yeah.
Let's hear it for Fripp.
Тем временем собрали половину от необходимой суммы для того, чтобы... Половину? Да, половину от того, чтобы пойти на 150%, но...
He was still one of the best, so.
Homie
Alright.
FC's Machinations A.
Can you imagine the nerve?
Yeah, imagine the nerves.
If
man.
you
Who
are
said
at
that?
all interested in getting into this game, it's pretty nice and easy nowadays.
Ну и всё, мы
You
закончили.
can join either the Plastic Instrument Central Discord, which I have linked on my Twitter and YouTube and that sort of thing.
Инцентив
or
не
just
собрали.
join the main Clone
В принципе,
Hero
не
1
страшно, и
and
так
make
был
your way
хороший
throughout,
шоу-кейс.
the set list and practice on your own. Guitar modders can